Howdy, hey y'all, Nerdz here with another video for your viewing entertainment. So, today I'm doing, another Q&A, which I announced, like, what, 2 months ago? A month ago? I don't know when I announced it, but I had announced it on Fimfiction that I was gonna do another, and then I just kind of forgot about it. So, I'm doing that now. So before I get on to questions people have been asking me for the past month, or however long it's been, I want to answer questions that were asked for the last one, the last Q&A that I did, but they were asked while I was making the video. Like they asked the questions as the video was being recorded, so I didn't have time to go back and add them in. So I'm gonna answer those now. So Joey Jumper 94 asked what would happen if it came out that Luna's death was Alicorn-assisted suicide and not murder like Celestia said. This is for those of you who are wondering, this is referring to My Little Descendants, which is a story that I have written, which is a parody of Descendants. So you might want to skip ahead in the video if you haven't read that yet, or if you haven't finished it yet, because I'm getting into spoiler territory here. But I mean, it kind of did in a way, because when Luna came back, she kind of, like, it wasn't like when she returned in the final chapter, you know, she didn't say like, oh, I've been trapped on the moon for 1,000 years, or, you know, or I've been stuck somewhere, I was possessed or whatever. She truly believed, like, she's like, okay, what happened? I was dead, why am I here now? And I feel like there was probably a little bit of confusion, of course. There's probably some people who are terrified over what happened, but I don't know. I mean, I might do something with that in the future. I am doing something with that in the future. There's gonna be a kind of, I have an idea for for something that's coming up, hopefully, that will probably answer your question better than I could right now. The Musical Boy 93 asked, do the pairings in MLD reflect on any of your ships? Well, the only 2 official canon things in the universe right now are the same that were canon in the movie, because, you know, I kind of had to follow that a little bit. So, Nyx and Will, which of course that's very cute. I do like that one. And what have you guys started calling that? Wix, I think? Wix, and then also Skybug, which I think what you called it is Lady and Skyfresh. And I do ship those kind of. I mean, like, it's weird to say that I ship something with my own story, but mostly what I will have come canon later is well, whatever happens in the movies, because, you know, the second movie's coming out. I'm sure they're gonna do something with that with the guys. But I will say this though, there is one ship, or like 2 characters that I kind of really low-key ship that I want to do something with, but I haven't done it yet because I'm not quite sure how you guys would react to it. But I'm not gonna say who that is. You guys can try and guess who it is. But I mean, like, I don't know. I think that they would be kind of good together, but I just don't know. Okay, so I'm moving on to the new questions now. There really aren't a lot, but I'm going to kind of, I'm gonna start with, the Dizzy Dan, who asked, do I ever switch up on artistic mediums when I try to break through on creative dry spells? For example, I hear writing poetry can be good if you're facing writer's block for prose. Well, yeah, actually, I've talked about this a lot, where, you can always tell when I've hit writer's block, because I will just start posting a bunch of stuff on DeviantArt where I'll do edits to kind of avoid work. But yeah, whenever I'm writing and I can't figure out what to do, I just kind of, like, find some bases online and then just kind of edit them and kind of, like, work out the scene in my head. And something that I used to do, which I admittedly still do to this day, is whenever I was writing when I was little, because I've been writing my whole life. I just only started posting things a few years ago. But what I would do is if I was ever having trouble coming up with a scene, I would because I collect like little miniature horses and stuff, and I would kind of like act out the scene and just kind of like figure out what I want to do, if that makes sense. And that just kind of helped me a lot. Like, this isn't really an artistic medium, this is just something that I do to get over writer's block. Listen to music is also another thing that I do. But I mean, I don't really do much other than write and make bass edits or draw sometimes. I haven't done any traditional drawing in a while. But, well, I mean, videos. I make videos. But yeah, when I'm facing creative dry spells, I just do whatever I can. Like, I'll listen to music. One thing that I've been listening to a lot is Wicked, like the Wicked soundtrack. And actually, you can I listen to music. What I do is I listen to music, and then when I get an idea, I'll like play that same song while I'm writing a scene, and it kind of helps me remember what it is. Cause I hate writing things down. Like, I never have paper on me. I never have like a pencil or paper on me to write stuff down. So I just kind of like listen to music, and I don't know how to word it. Kind of like how with the there was like a scientific study done a couple years ago, where if you chew gum while you're studying, and then later on when you're taking your test, if you chew that same flavor of gum, it'll help you kind of remember. That's what I do. I will listen to music to kind of give me inspiration, and then when I have an idea, I will listen to that same song while I'm writing, and it kind of helps me remember, like, oh yeah, that's how I wanted the scene to go. And if you pay close attention to something, you can find references to, like, things that I'm watching and things that I'm listening to while I'm writing. For instance, I will give an example, in the, On the Isle story, which was a side story to MLD, there's a line in there where Nightmare Moon says, "No good deed goes unpunished," which, if you don't know, "No Good Deed" is a song from Wicked, which I was listening to while I wrote that scene, and that kind of flashback scene was very much inspired by that, and For Good, which I actually did at the end of MLD in my author's note, I had written a quote from that, which I was listening to while I wrote the author's note, which was a bad idea because I was crying. But it was, I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason. Who can say if I've been changed for the better, but because I knew you, I have been changed for good, which is a quote from the song, which is what I was listening to while I was writing this, while I was writing the final chapter, and I was crying, and I don't know, I just felt like putting that there because I don't know why. So then Sakura, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. I never know if it's like Sakura or Sakura or Sakura. I don't know. I can't pronounce things. But what type or types of music do you like? Well, I'm very broad with music. I don't know what really defines a genre. Like, I know what, like, country music is, because that's what I grew up listening to, because Southern Pride, sweetie. I don't know why I said that. But, I will listen to anything that I find, that, like, anything that really has a good beat, and, like, work. I pay more attention to lyrics than I do beat, actually. But anything that has lyrics that I like, I will listen to. So that brings into really any type of music, honestly. Pop. I love Sabrina Carpenter, if that gives you any idea. I love her music so much. Also, The Girl in the Dreamcatcher, I've been obsessed with for a while. Pentatonics, I actually have the CD right here. Yeah, this album is literally just called Pentatonics, so the Pentatonics album. A lot of Disney music. I'm really lame in, yeah, okay, that's not lame, like, I'll listen to any classic Disney music, music from Disney shows. I'm just very broad with music. Then Sakura also asked again, how did I get interested in MLP? And this, I'm really excited. I don't think I ever really talked about this before, but my sister was a 90s kid, so she kind of grew up watching G3, and that's how I got introduced to it. Was she had like a bunch of the, cause like she collected the, well, she didn't collect them, but, you know, since she was a 90s kid, she had a bunch of the little figurines, the toys. And then, when she outgrew them, I got the hand-me-downs, being the little sister. And, I would watch the reruns of the show, and I loved it. And, looking back at it now, I'm just like, what is wrong with me? it's so cringy. But I'm not talking about G3.5, which is where they were like, they look like bobbleheads almost. But I'm talking about like a original G3 with like where they tried to make them look more like horses, and it didn't work very well. But I remember every Christmas, because I found this on DVD, and I still do this sometimes, but every Christmas we would watch the Very Minty Christmas movie, which I still have that DVD somewhere. I wish I could remember where it was, because now I want to go watch that. But yeah, Minty was like my favorite pony from G3. But then how I found G4 was I was watching, I want to say, Pound Puppies on the Hub, because there was another show that I was a big fan of, was the original Pound Puppies series, and I wanted to watch it. And then I saw an ad where it was advertising that like the next week was going to be the premiere of their newest show, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Because I saw one of the first trailers for it, and I was really excited because I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then I watched it. I remember literally my first thought was, what is this? This isn't My Little Pony. And I was like, what happened to Rainbow Dash? She couldn't fly before. She wasn't tomboy. She was like darling and fashionista. And I was so confused. But then I just kept watching it, and then I watched every episode. For the first and second season, it came on while I was at school. So like I would record the episode and then watch it when I got home. But then like that was back when they did new episodes on Fridays. And then when it moved to Saturday, I was like, yes, I can just try and get up before 10 a.m. so I could watch it. And then I didn't find the fandom until after season 3, because during season 3 we didn't have cable at the time, so I had to watch it on YouTube. So that's what I did. But like I didn't since we didn't have cable, I didn't realize that season 3 had come out yet. So then when I found out about it, because somebody was talking about an episode at school, and I was like, oh, I need to go back and watch that. So that's what I would do while I was waiting on the carpool to come take me to school in the morning, is while I was eating breakfast, I would just watch episodes. And then when I finished it, I was like, whoa, she's a princess now. Okay. Because I didn't know why everybody was freaking out about that, because I didn't know that anyone was freaking out about it. But then I watched, like, since I had been watching a bunch of episodes, fan-related stuff started appearing in my YouTube recommended feed. So I started watching all of these videos, and one thing I remember watching was a Past Sins tribute. And I was like, what is this? Who's this character? I kid you not, I actually Googled several times, MLP episode with Nyx, or who is Nyx? And then I finally found out who she was, and I was like, oh, it's a fan fiction thing. And like, I had read fanfiction before, but it was a really bad fanfiction written in script format. It wasn't even written on any site. It was like one of those really cheesy YouTube videos that had like this person is this person. It was like the intro for it, and then the story was written in the description. And like I read that, and like it was really bad fan fiction, and it kind of ruined the show for me. Like, this isn't with MLP, this is with something else. Like it kind of ruined that show for me, and I was like, oh, I really don't want to read this, because like I wanted to figure out who this character was and what was happening in all of these videos and why she was like, she just looked really cool. But I didn't want to read fan fiction because I didn't want this show to get ruined for me. But then everybody was saying that it was the best. Like all the comments in these videos was like, oh my gosh, I love Past Sins, it's the best thing I've ever read in my life. So finally I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna read it. So I found the story and I read it and I was hooked. And then I just started reading more fan fiction, and then I got my account on my birthday, actually. When did I join Fimfiction? Let's look at that real quick. Yeah, I got my account on my birthday in 2014, and I posted the prologue, like that same day I posted the prologue to a story that I had started writing back in February of that year. And then I just enjoyed the writing, so I just kept doing it, and then that's just kind of brought me to where I am now. Okay, so now we have 3 questions from Skymus, so gonna try and get through these. I know I've been ranting, well, not really ranting, but just like talking a lot about things, but I'm gonna try and get through these as quick as I can. So, straight to the point, you're making an MLD version of The Isle of the Lost, the Wicked World shorts, and a sequel which may be separate from the Descendants sequel. I think what you're trying to ask is if I'm doing that. So, Wicked World shorts, I am definitely doing. I'm actually about a fourth of the way done with the first episode, and how I'm gonna do that is, I'm going to, write all of the episode, like all the chapters it's gonna be, and then I'm gonna post one every Friday. So there's gonna be 12 chapters, so for 12 weeks, I'm gonna be posting a new chapter to that story every week, like every Friday for 12 weeks. And then, Isle of the Lost, I would really like to, because I read, I actually have it right here, I read, Return to the Isle of the Lost recently, and I have so many ideas, and it fits, okay? Like, there's characters in there that fit with headcanons that I have, and I'm just like, yes, I really want to do this. But I would have to do, to do Return to the Isle of the Lost, I would probably really need to do the Isle of the Lost first. And I don't actually have a copy of that. When I read it, I had bought the spell book, like, right before school started, and then my friend, my little brother type friend, he had bought the Isle of the Lost. So then we switched for a few days so we could both read the books, and then we switched back. And I don't want to ask to borrow the book from him again to do this, because I don't know how long I don't know how many months it would take me to write it. So I really want to wait until I can get a copy myself, and I haven't been able to find any. And when I can find them, I don't have any money with me. But I would like to. I'm not confirming that I'm going to, but I would like to. And then a sequel that may be separate from the Descendants sequel. So when the Descendants 2 comes out, definitely I'm going to be writing that. I'm going to be writing with that. But I do have an idea for a sequel that will be separate, that is completely original, separate from the Descendants universe, but I'm having a little bit of trouble with coming up with 2 plot things. Okay, basically it's going to be answering questions that may have come up from the last chapter of MLD, like what happened to Luna, where was she actually dead, or where was she, and kind of just tying up some loose ends, and also exploring characters a little bit more. I can't really say exactly what I have in mind, but I really think you guys are gonna like it. Do I listen to music when I write and draw? Yes, I do. Like I said, you can find little hints to what I'm listening to while I'm working in everything that I do, whether it's, well, like I said, there's a lot of Wicked references. A lot of times I will actually watch TV shows and movies while I'm working, just to kind of, like, have my brain not entirely focused on what I'm doing, because I find that if I'm focused too much, then I'm, like, a lot of times I will focus too hard on trying to focus, and then I end up just, like, sitting there for an hour just staring at my screen, like, okay, focus, and I'm like, wait, I haven't even done anything in the past 6 hours, and now I'm hungry and I need to go get food. But, so I'll, like, have something listening, like, so I can watch, so I can be like, okay, and I'll be like, work, and then, like, just, like, spit out a few paragraphs, and then look away, and then edit the paragraphs that I did, and then look back, and also when I draw, there's a picture that comes on screen right now, and that picture was actually done, it was very much inspired by, well, obviously, chapter 6 of MLD, but also while I was drawing it, or editing it, I guess, because it's a base, it was done, I was listening to, Glowing in the Dark by The Girl in the Dreamcatcher, and if you listen to, pause this video, well, let me finish saying this and then pause the video, but, go listen to the song, and then just, stare at the picture, and, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. And And then, do I watch anime, and if I do, which ones? I actually don't watch anime. That's, like, I'm wanting to get into it, but from what I've heard, it's gonna ruin my life even more than Supernatural has so far. But I've been told that, One Punch Man is very good, and, Devlin, you guys know her from, a couple videos that I've done with her. Well, a video that I did, 2 videos. We've done 2 videos together for my channel, one for her channel. She's always sending me, like, I think it's called a Danganronpa. I have no idea, but there's a couple animes that I want to look out. I want to check out, Sailor Moon, because I've heard that's really good, but, I don't know, I just haven't really had a chance to, and I haven't been able to find them anywhere, really. I could try Netflix. But, yeah, so that's, pretty much it for this, but before I end out this video, I want to say I kind of really like doing this, and I want to, have you guys who follow me on, like, who watch my YouTube videos, and who follow me on Twitter, I kind of want you guys to be a part of this. So, I'm gonna make this like a monthly thing that I do, monthly, bi-monthly type thing, just whenever I get questions. So if you have questions, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can ask questions in the comments of this video. If, I know I'm gonna post this on, in a blog on Fimfiction, so you can ask questions in the comment section of this blog. Or if you're watching this on either, and then you don't have an account on either one of these, you're just like you follow me on Twitter, you can tweet at me with your questions and use, let's see, what's a good hashtag? I have an idea for one. Let's see. Let's see if this is like a thing. Okay, so yeah, you can, if you follow me on Twitter and you want to ask questions there, you can tweet at me with the hashtag nerdyquestions and just ask questions, and I may answer them in a future video. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this week, so go ahead and slap that like button and join the Nerd Herd today by subscribing to my channel if you want to see more content. You can follow me on Google+, Fimfiction, Twitter, Instagram, and DeviantArt. Links to that in the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much it.